What's up, guys? I started my introduction to the AGM brand with their first rugged smartwatch a couple months ago. Now we have the AGM tablet. As you can see, it is also rugged. Overall, the AGM brand is about durability. Maybe someday I will test their rugged smartphone. They have many different models, but today we are going to review the AGM PAD P2 Active tablet. Perhaps the main feature of this tablet is its design. It has a rubberized body with a 360-degree ring on the back. You can use it as a handle to carry the tablet around or a kickstand. However, it is actually a protective case that can be removed. Without the case, the tablet is less shock resistant, but it is still waterproof. Talking about the hardware of the AGM tablet, it has 11-inch Full HD 90Hz display, Helio G99 chipset, 8 GB of RAM and 256 GB of storage, 50 megapixels camera, 8000 mAh battery and even dual SIM 4G support. You know, it looks like a tablet for all occasions. Let's test it and find out if it is really so. So the tablet comes in a box like this. You know, it is even pictured on the box with the back panel instead of the front, because that's its main feature. On the side of the box, there is a small sticker with the tablet's specifications. By the way, it looks like this tablet has two names, AGM PAD P2W or PAD P2 Active. Just know that it is the same tablet. Opening the box, we see the tablet right away. We will take a closer look at it a little later. There are also stickers included, as well as power adapter, USB Type-C charging cable, strap, some plugs, and quick start guide on how to use the tablet and how to remove the protective case. We will take the case off a little bit later, but now let's take a look at the tablet with it. First, I really like the ring on the back. I would use the case just because of it. It is very convenient to grab the tablet from the table with one hand. Overall, the tablet is quite large and heavy, but the ring makes it even more convenient to use than many compact tablets. The ring rotates 360 degrees, so you can hold your tablet both vertically and horizontally. Another use for the ring is a kickstand. You can put the tablet on the table at almost a right angle or at some inclination. I just thought it would be really cool if such a ring was sold separately and could be used with any tablet. Would you like that? Do you remember that the tablet also comes with a strap? This is actually a shoulder strap. You need to secure it with these mounts diagonally. I think it will be useful for some workplaces. The USB port and headphone jack are located under the large rubber plug. But you still need to remove two more plugs, because the tablet itself is also waterproof without a protective case. The volume and power buttons can also be used with a protective case. However, the SIM and memory card slot is only accessible when you remove the case. Let's do this. First, you need to release the 8 clasps all around the tablet and then remove the shell. Now peel off the corners of the silicone protective case. The tablet is in the yellow frame. Flip it over so that the USB port is facing you, and then push it up from the bottom. And that's it. The tablet is free. By the way, let's go back a little bit. The size of the tablet with a protective case is 275 by 187 by 21 mm. The weight is 15 grams. If you remove the case, the tablet will become much thinner and lighter. Its dimensions are 260 by 170 by 9 mm. The weight is 595 grams. The body is made of metal. By the way, the tablet is available only in gray color. As I said before, the tablet without a protective case is still waterproof. But if you plan an outdoor activity, it is better to put on a case. Now we can get to the SIM card and memory card slot. This is a hybrid slot, so you can use dual SIM or one SIM and memory card. The tablet also has 4 stereo speakers, 2 at the top and 2 at the bottom. By the way, I didn't pay attention to the speakers in the case. Yes, the protective case has speaker holes. Let's listen to music with and without the keys and see if the sound is different. The sound is almost the same. You can listen to music or watch videos in a protective case with no problems.
These intrepid souls, and while we can never repay them, we can certainly celebrate them.
Thank you, Fantastic Four! Thank you!
Thank you, Fantastic Four!
Since we have started watching videos, let's talk about the display. The AGM PAD P2 Active has a really big screen with a diagonal of 11 inches and Full HD resolution 1200 by 1920 pixels. It also has 90 Hz screen refresh rate at 480 nits maximum brightness. While the brightness is not very high compared to many smartphones, the display is pretty good to see outside. By the way, I couldn't find any information about screen protection. But since this is a rugged tablet, the display should also have a protective glass. If you want, you can stick an additional tempered protective glass on the screen. This will be even better for a rugged tablet. Overall, it is a good display for watching videos or surfing the internet. Talking about watching videos, the tablet has Widevine L1 certification. This is the highest level of security provided by Widevine, which allows you to watch streaming apps like Netflix, Prime Video, Hulu, and more in HD resolution.
Anything else on your person?
So this tablet is designed not only for work, but also for entertainment.
What? Hey, Daniel Atlas in the house. Who wants to see a magic trick?
Overall, the tablet runs on Android 14 operating system with ROS 1.0 user interface. To be honest, I have never heard of this UI, but it actually looks like a stock Android. The system is optimized for tablets. You can quickly flip the screen from vertical to horizontal and vice versa. The tablet had no pre-installed apps other than Google and Tablet Manager. In the Tablet Manager, we can quickly optimize the tablet, as well as use Cleaner, Battery Manager, and App Manager. You know, I cannot say that the tablet has very powerful hardware, but the system is very fast. I am even a little surprised by this. I said that the hardware is not very powerful because the tablet has a Helio G99 chipset. Although it is positioned as a gaming processor, it was released quite a long time ago, in 2022. On the other hand, the tablet has 8 GB of built-in RAM and 256 GB of storage. I think that's why the tablet works so smoothly. You can also use 8 GB of virtual RAM. To do this, you need to open the settings menu, go to storage, and here you will find the memory fusion. I have 8 plus 8 GB of current RAM space, but you can choose virtual RAM from 4, 6 or 8 GB. In the RAM menu, we can see how much memory is free and how much is used on average. If 256 GB of built-in storage is not enough for you, you can use a physical memory card. Okay, now let's look at the actual benchmark test results. You know, the company promised 412,000 points in AnTuTu, but I got 383,000. There's not much difference, though. That's a pretty good result for a tablet. In the Geekbench 6, the AGM tablet has 713 points in a single-core test and 1952 points in a multi-core test. You will probably play games on this tablet sometimes, so let's run 3D Mark. The wildlife test is recommended for this tablet, and it has 1239 overall score. The average FPS is 7.42. The bare numbers do not tell us much without comparison to other devices, but we can just go ahead and play games. So I have installed PUBG Mobile, Asphalt, Call of Duty and Genshin Impact. Let's just play them without my comments.
magicians collect them to offer to the statues as presents.
Overall, it is possible to play games on the AGM PAD P2 Active. But to be honest, I am not a fan of playing games on a tablet, because it is pretty big and heavy. I think a smartphone is more suitable for gaming than a tablet. Do you agree? When it comes to cameras, the tablet has two sensors on the rear panel, but it actually features a single 50 megapixels main camera. The front camera has 8 megapixels resolution. The camera app even has many useful shooting modes like Pro, Night, Video, Photo, Portrait, 50 megapixels and more. By the way, the tablet takes photos at 12 megapixels resolution in picture mode, while the maximum video recording resolution is 2K, but it doesn't seem to have image stabilization. Well, I don't think the camera is really important for any tablet, because it is not convenient to take pictures on a device this big. You can take good photos on the AGM tablet. The AGM PAD P2 Active has an 8000 mAh battery, which is not very big for 11-inch tablet. But I was surprised by the battery life. The PC Mark benchmark promises almost 19 hours of battery life on a single charge. I think the Helio G99 chipset did a great job here, because it is one of the most energy-efficient processors on the market right now. In addition, the AGM tablet supports 20 watts fast charging. It even comes with a 20 watts power adapter. A full battery charge takes about 2 hours and 15 minutes. We also need to talk about connectivity, because the AGM tablet has a SIM card slot with a dual SIM 4G LTE support. Yes, you can use the tablet for phone calls, but I think it is more useful for mobile internet, because you are not dependent on Wi-Fi. However, you can also use dual-band Wi-Fi, as well as Bluetooth and GPS on this tablet. So the AGM tablet pleasantly surprised me with its design. This is a rugged tablet, but you can remove the protective case and then it is just like a regular tablet, though still waterproof. However, I wouldn't remove the case, and not even for damage protection. Although that too, but because of the ring. This is a very useful thing. You can use it to hold the tablet with one hand or as a kickstand. As for the rest of the tablet's features, I wouldn't say I'm impressed with anything. It is just good in all respects: display, speakers, operating system, performance and camera. Oh wait, I was impressed with the battery though. The tablet really works for a long time on a single charge. I think for the price of just over $200, it is a really good tablet. Thank you for watching. See you soon!